What is up, guys? Today, on the latest episode of the Try Takes podcast, we have Gene here. Fully baseball episode today. Gene, how are you feeling today?
Sam, I'm doing so good. I'm so happy to be on the show. Looking forward to talk ball with you. Thank you so much for having
Sir,
me. And we say
of
we just
course.
jump into this one.
Yes, sir. So, the elephant in the room that we do need to talk about with Major League Baseball.
Mhm. Mhm.
Shohei Ohtani and Ippei, his translator, this whole
Mhm.
situation. What were your immediate thoughts when you heard the news?
I mean, my immediate thoughts were, how is this going to affect the Dodgers? Because let's say Otani gets found guilty of gambling on sports, which I don't think this is going to happen. I think they're going to do everything they can to protect Otani. Obviously, whether he was guilty or not of illegally gambling on sports is up in the air. Um, whether you think he did or didn't, it's all speculation. But I think that my initial thought was, let's say he gets banned from baseball. What kind of a look for that is the Dodgers? Like, how does that? I mean, they went in and spent $1 billion on free agents with Otani and this big grand deferral being the whole big thing. If that gets null and void and they lose their star acquisition, it's going to be a bad stain. It's going to be a bad look on the franchise for years to come. I'm curious to know what you think about that.
I mean, initially hearing the news, I was like, "Oh my god!" But I also initially just thought it was Ippei. He was
Mm-hmm,
doing
mm-hmm,
all of it. Otani was paying, off his debts,
mm-hmm.
being a good friend. But then it was like, was Otani betting on it? Was he not? Um, and I'm not going to speculate whether I think Otani's guilty or not. I am
Right, right,
not
right.
in a position of power. I am not
Mm-hmm.
a rule maker. I'm not any of that.
Right.
But the thing is, we'll never know what actually happened. I don't think we will ever really know the story.
You don't think we'll ever find out? I think the truth will come out at some point. But then again, it could just get swept under the rug. A lot of issues like this do.
Yeah.
As of literally 23 hours ago, Shohei Otani said that his interpreter was telling lies. He said that flat out. I believe I read somewhere that there was a wire transfer. Um, I mean, how would the translator even get this money? I mean, it's just such a I can't even wrap my head around this story. You know what I
I
mean, Sam?
I can't either because how does eBay have that much access to Otani's bank account? You know what I mean?
Right. And
Like,
that's where people start to get suspicious. How does he have access to his bank account? It would immediately link all this fraud straight to Otani because $5 million is not something that you just lose. You know what I
mm-mm.
mean? And
Yeah,
I've read that Otani was trying to help him because eBay was struggling or something along those lines. But I mean, $5 million is a lot more than helping someone who's struggling. That's a big sum of money. Obviously, nothing for a guy like Otani, but it's just such an interesting situation.
and it has to have come from Otani's bank account because
Yes.
they said eBay is like the highest paid translator MLB history, something like that. He
Hmm.
makes, I think, between $300,000 and $500,000 a year.
Hmm.
That's not $5 million that you're losing, and I think he made like $100,000 with the Angels every year.
Hmm.
It's
I'm actually seeing there's from 7 minutes ago. I just got a notification from ESPN that Shohei Otani's reps declined to answer which authorities they've contacted to report theft allegations versus the interpreter. This is news from 7 minutes ago.
that
I'm going
is
to open
interesting.
up this article really quickly. If you'd like to talk a little bit more about it, I can give us an update in a second.
That is very interesting. I mean, the reason that I said we're not going to know the full details, full information, is because the Dodgers are a prominent organization in baseball. They are probably the
Hmm.
biggest, if not second biggest organization in baseball. So they're very PR trained. They're going to tell Otani what to say, what not to say. He could be lying out of his ass about
He could be. We have no idea.
the gambling, but
Hmm.
that's not for us to decide. It is very interesting,
Hmm.
and for the MLB's point of view, they definitely don't want Otani to be found guilty. He is the face of the MLB.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
their whole product is pretty much around Otani right now. Like,
Right.
oh, Otani, he could pitch, he can hit. He's the best
He's the
athlete
new base.
baseball's ever seen.
Right.
So that I think everybody wants this to be swept under the rug.
Mhm. So here, I just took a little read on this article right now. Basically, it's saying that his legal team refuses to tell the MLB which authorities they've turned this to because they turned the whole story with the theft over to uh, it just says authorities, but Shohei's legal team will not tell the MLB who authorities are. So that's the current update.
Wow,
So I think that's interesting. I mean,
that is very interesting.
I don't even know who could be mediating this case. What government, what body of government are they turning to? What court system? I don't know.
I feel
It's
like
just
you would say though, if you are completely innocent, that you
right.
went to this or that. Again, I'm not gonna say, oh, Tani's guilty, or Tani's abetting.
Hmm.
I don't know. Nobody knows. It's just very interesting and fun to speculate about what could happen.
Right. And
It's
the thing is, if he is betting illegally, like you were saying before, he's the face of baseball, one of the best to ever play, if not the best, if he goes on the path he's going. The MLB could do everything in their power to defend him, even if he's in the wrong, because they need someone like this in baseball. He's excellent for baseball. New fans love him. Old fans, they like him, but the
yeah,
new fans are where, you know what I mean? This is where you get your new fans in baseball, a sport that struggles to market their players, to have a marketable player who's amazing on both sides, offense, defense, and pitching, three sides. He's literally a three-headed beast. He's a hydra. And to lose that would be so detrimental to the MLB. If he's
oh,
guilty, they'll do everything in their power to protect him.
and this might be biased because I'm a huge, huge fan of him. But the
Mm-hmm.
MLB, their last star that they were really, really promoting and trying to say this is the guy
Mm-hmm.
in the next 10, 15 years of baseball, this is a guy you're going to be looking at. And that
Mm-hmm.
was Fernando Tatis Jr. He
Mm-hmm.
was quickly on the face of MLB The Show. MLB was always posting clips of him because he was flashy, he was confident, and he was really, really, really good.
Yeah,
And then,
a
he
recipe for a
recipe
star.
for a star. And then he fell off his motorcycle, broke his wrist, and then said, "Oh, which accident was it?" And then gets busted for PDs,
Yeah, the whole ringworm situation.
which was we were just talking about is wild.
Yeah. So, but
Uh,
here's the thing: the difference between a guy like Tatis and a guy like Otani, whether you like it or not, I know you're a huge Tatis super fan. Otani is a better player.
oh, 100%. I
Right.
will definitely agree with that. Otani's the
Of
best
course.
player in baseball, maybe that we've
Hmm.
ever seen.
Hmm. I would say he's a little bit. It's tough to say. Who do we think is more marketable, Tatis or Otani? Because Otani takes the edge on the skill, but Tatis has that swagger, and there's not a lot of players in the league that can really captivate the fans the way Tatis does. He is fun to watch, and so is Otani, but Tatis is electric. So I would think he would have been the face of baseball if he didn't fall off that bike. If he didn't get ringworm, he would have still been the face of baseball alongside Otani. What do you think about that?
I think Otani definitely is easier in a way to market just because he pitches, he hits the market in Japan. They
Right. Oh,
like
you
you
know what?
said,
That's true.
they both would have been the face of baseball. Aaron Judge is also a great face of baseball, but
The only thing
the
is
ML
Aaron Judge is so modest. You need
yeah.
like a super villain, almost like a Manny Machado with the skill set of Mike Trout to make it. And that's kind of, you know what I mean? Why
Yeah, like
Judge isn't really the face of baseball, in my opinion, is because he's kind of a quiet dude. For someone who's 6'7", built like I
uh,
don't even know, he's like a
offensive
titan.
lineman,
Yeah, yeah, but
you
he's
know,
quiet. He's a quiet dude. He's
he's like
respectful.
Jeter. He's
Yeah,
Jeter.
and the face of baseball isn't really a Jeter archetype. You know,
Yeah.
you need someone with a little bit. You need someone hateable as the face of baseball. Not hateable, but someone that people can either love or hate. There's no one who like dislikes Judge other than Red Sox fans. Whereas
Yeah.
someone like Machado, people of all fan bases. Someone like Tatis, someone of all fan bases. They all have their strong opinions on him.
Yeah.
Same with Otani, whether you like him or not. You know what I
But
mean? You don't have that with Judge. He's a very respectable, very easy to understand, easy to like
yeah.
guy because
He's
he's
just
just
like
quiet.
you don't really know anything about Aaron Judge. To be
Right.
honest, you don't really want to.
You
He's
don't
just
know
a great
anything about
player.
Shohei either. Shohei's quiet also in that
Yeah,
regard. The only difference, the only reason he can prosper as this face of the game is because of his unique skill set. I think if he
and
wasn't a two-way player, he would
he'd
not
just
be
be a
nearly as
regular like
popular, obviously.
superstar.
Right. He'd be like a Mike Trout or an Aaron Judge.
So, to move on to a different topic, but
Hmm.
to conclude this, the MLB legal team has a lot on their hands. Do
They
not
sure
envy
do.
those guys.
Mhm.
So, we really need to talk, both the Yankees fans. We just mentioned Aaron Judge. Oh, the New York Yankees.
Mm.
If you asked me in December, I would have been, this team is World Series bound. This is our year.
The
But Garrett Cole's
cycle,
injury.
the Yankees fan cycle. We are the Dallas Cowboys. It
Unfortunately,
sucks.
we are.
We are the Dallas Cowboys of the MLB. Garrett Cole just went down with that elbow
Oh,
inflammation. It
God.
could have been a lot worse.
It
He could
could
have been
have,
out the
but
whole season. He dodged Tommy John. What is it that he's out? 3 to 4 weeks? Is that what it said?
I think
Or
I think
is it a couple
they're gonna
months?
give
I
him
think
a
it's a couple
month
months.
and then look at it again. But it's
Hmm.
gonna be like 1 to 2 months at minimum.
Yeah.
At
So,
minimum, though, it could end up being a lot worse. I'm
mm,
praying for the best. But it's
praying for
like,
the best. Yeah.
as a Yankees fan, it's we get Juan Soto. He's a superstar. It's like, what is so annoying to me is that we get all the pieces that we need,
And we still fall flat when it matters.
and still
Every
something
time.
happens. I've been calling since probably 2019 when we had to do the replacement Yankees, which, by the way, probably my favorite Yankees team.
Really?
The 2019 replacement Yankees, because I wasn't really into baseball when
Hmm.
we had
Hmm.
Mo and Jeter and
That was my
winning the
team, dude.
2009 World
Mo,
Series.
Jeter, Nick Swisher, Curtis Granderson, Cano, Posada, Andy Pettit, even.
CC.
CC. How could
I
I
love
forget
CC
CC?
Sabathia. Love CC.
Ah,
But
he is awesome.
I really started getting into baseball in 2017, which was a great year to get into it. I
That
mean,
was a
Judge
good
was
year to get
hitting
into it.
homers left and right.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm not gonna say he got robbed, because if you look at
It's hard to
Altuve's
say.
numbers and
Altuve had
and,
great stats.
and
346 batting
everything they
average,
say about
right?
Altuve, I think 346 I remember with bets, but
Was that bet?
Altuve was definitely in the 300s.
Let's see. Let me check
But
his baseball reference.
but
Let's see if I got that down to the dot with the batting average. In 2017, his batting average was 346, which led the league.
really,
He had an
that's
OBP of
crazy that
410.
so
Yeah,
the
let me check his fan graphs too.
the MVPs in both 2017 and 2018 both had a 346 batting average.
Yeah, it's the magic number, I guess. Let me see. I'm checking his fan graph stats now because I'm curious to see some of the other more advanced metrics on him. His WRC plus was 160. I'd like to
Jesus.
compare that to Aaron Judge's.
I think
Um,
Judge 2022 was
Look at this. We're such
211.
Yankees fans. We're getting back on
Yeah,
the 2017
but
MVP discussion.
Altuve also, they put out a report that Altuve used the sign stealing the
Yes,
least. He just did not use it.
right. Which, you know, everyone's
It's
gonna
whatever.
say that. You know,
Hey,
whatever. It's in the past.
it's 7 years
Judge's
ago at this point.
WRCS was 174, also
Damn,
elite.
damn.
His 18.8% walk percentage, love that.
You gotta remember though, that's
Just
when
a
they cared
great
about
year.
batting average.
That's true. He Judge hit 284. You know, he also
Still
slugged
great.
627. Do with that what you will. Slugging's not that
Jesus.
important. Kind of a flawed stat, but still .627 slugging, filthy compared to Altuve's, which was 547.
That's still really good slugging for
Oh,
a guy like
it's good.
Altuve. But 627 is
Judge had
unmatched.
a slightly higher OBP. We should move on. We're getting
Yes,
caught up on the past. We're such
because you
Yankees
know what's gonna
fans.
happen? We're gonna be talking about this for an hour, and then
We're gonna be talking about this for 3 hours, and then you know what's gonna happen? Nothing. Nothing's gonna happen.
because
Judge will
Altuve's
never be
still
the
gonna have the
2017
MVP.
MVP.
Judge
Ah,
is just gonna be a one-time MVP. But
let's shift gears a little bit. What
Do
do
you
you
want to
think?
do awards or rest of the Yankees?
Yeah, let's finish up with the Yankees, and then we'll move into our picks for awards.
Okay.
I'm excited to see. Obviously, the big story is Soto, and we'll get to Soto in one sec. But first, I want to talk about the baby bombers.
Yes.
Dominguez injured, coming back towards what do you say, the middle of the
They
season, end of the
say
season?
July, but they said that he's a lot further than they thought he'd be on the tongue, John.
Okay, so it could be like a Luis Severino situation where he comes back in like September. You know what I mean? You remember that when that happened?
No, I'm saying like they think he's gonna be back a lot sooner.
Oh, really? Well, knock
Yeah,
on
like
wood,
June.
because yeah, okay. Well, we got
Should be
Dominguez
great.
coming back. Anthony Volpe coming off the Gold Glove 2020
I
season.
think Volpe will
20,
have a good year because
20 steals, 20 home runs.
that
Whoa.
swing that he had that he fixed, he was
Yeah, he
productive
tweaked
with
his
it.
swing.
Chicken parm dinner with another guy that I'm really looking forward to seeing is Austin Wells. I think
Yes,
Austin Wells
the
this year
future of the Yankees.
will become like the Gio Urshela of the
Really? Why do you
2024
say?
Yankees. Just because I think I think we're gonna fall in love with him. He seems like such a
Oh,
guy's guy.
yeah.
Just such a likable player. I'm very excited for Austin Wells. And the fact that he changed Volpe's swing with the little chicken parm.
I like
So
Wells a lot. I like this.
me too.
I like the mustache. He looks
Me too.
he
He
looks like he's
rocks
got
it.
that Yankee look, which is such a Yankee thing to say. Other teams don't say, "Oh, he's got such a Padre look." Nobody says that,
It's
but he
just
does.
because
He's got that Yankee look. I'm excited, really excited about Soto. Obviously, if you want to now
yeah.
cover that, uh,
Uh I don't know,
I
maybe
think
like
he's
just
the AL MVP. I really do.
wow,
He's coming off.
so
Yeah,
starting with that.
yeah. The delusional Yankee fan, think that he's just ah, he's so good. He's coming off. Let's see right here. He's coming off a season, right, where he played a full 162 games. That's the first part of this. The Yankees have struggled with injuries so much, and this is sort of unrelated from the MVP thing, but why he's going to be so crucial to the Yankees is because he's durable. Knock on wood. Uh, he also lefty, built for Yankee Stadium. That was
Oh,
another problem. The
100%.
Yankees just for whatever reason refused to sign lefties, with the exception of Rizzo, who they let play through a concussion for 3 months. We've got
A
that lefty,
ridiculous
who's huge,
situation.
huge power bat. He's coming off a 35 home run season. I think he could get 40 in New York. He'll
Oh,
probably won't. He'll probably,
I think
but
he
he's
could get 40.
capable. He could totally get it. Another thing, just getting on base. The Yankees always struggled when they had runners on the bases. Last year, Mr. Juan Soto led the league in walks, which is a big thing because him and Judge back to back, they're both walk stars, just walking all over the place. You know what I mean? Two of them
Uh-huh.
get on base all the time through walks. Walks are huge. Just getting those base runners and setting things up for Volpe, for Wells, the new guys. Let them eat. I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Mm.
I This Yankees team seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of fun to watch. If
Mm.
Soto's healthy the whole year, again, knock on wood, but I
Knock
think
on wood.
Soto could be amazing for us.
Mm-hmm.
But, since you brought up MVP,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it goes to Soto. That the issue I have
I'm just trying to manifest it. You know what I mean?
the issue I have is that I could see every single year Soto winning MVP.
Well, he finished sixth, I believe, in MVP voting last year. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Like there's every single year I think Soto could win MVP. But
So good. I'm just looking at his stats and I'm just gushing over him.
he is 400 on base percentage every single year.
Dude, he hasn't had a WRC plus under 140 ever. That's
He is.
crazy.
He
Yeah, the
is.
400 on base percentages. Look at that.
He's so
Slugged
good.
519 last year with a beautiful 18.6% walk percentage. I love to see that. Love it. 109 RBIs. Who's your pick?
So I'm gonna go with Julio Rodriguez.
A fair pick.
Everybody that I know, everybody that's watched this knows I love J-Rod. He is such
Mm.
a fun player to watch. He is so exciting. And his issue though is he always gets off to a slow start. April, May, he's like
Mhm.
they're like, "What is Julio doing?" The past 2 years, but I think if he can really get off to a strong start this year, there is nothing that will stop him. I think AL MVP is
I
in his
mean,
future.
he was yeah. He's only 23 years old too. He's just about to enter the prime of his career. That wonderful like 23 to 27 stretch of a player's career where they're in their prime. He's just entering it now. Now he's got that MLB experience. I could absolutely see him winning the AL MVP. I think the Mariners are going to be kind of fun this year. Definitely keep an
Me
eye on
too.
them.
He's projected right now, Baseball Reference,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
29 homers, 31 doubles. They don't say how many stolen. 30 stolen bags.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
850 OPS. I think he will eclipse that. But any Mariners fans watching, you guys have your next Ken Griffey Jr.
He's awesome. He's going to be so good for
He's
years to
so
come.
good, so good. And the Mariners have always struggled. The fans, I feel like they're always depressed about that team. But you
Yeah.
have yourself your superstar again, and
Fangraphs is projecting him 33 home runs.
wow,
Very, very
okay.
nice. Very nice.
Fangraphs is a lot better than Baseball Reference and
Projecting him 500
projecting.
slugging.
I could definitely see that. He
Yep.
is so good,
A
so good.
341 OBP. I think he will eclipse that also.
341.
Yeah.
I could see him eclipsing that, but also he
I could
struggles
see him
with
getting to
strikeouts and
360.
stuff.
He does. He's got that 23% strikeout rate, which
Isn't
is the
great.
lowest it's actually been. Yeah. Oh no, that's the projection. His lowest ever was 24.5%. Not great.
No, but
But
if you could hit the
this
ball like
sort
he
of comes
does,
with the age thing. He's going to become more disciplined over time.
yeah,
His strikeout percentage has been slowly decreasing, and I think it'll continue to decrease.
me
He
too.
doesn't walk that much, but he's so good in the box, just slugs all day long. So good defensively too. I
Oh,
mean, he's fun to watch.
he is the 5-tool
Yeah, but
player in
then
the NBA.
that's another thing about Soto. Would you call Soto a 5-tool player? He's not very fast. I wouldn't
He's
call him a
not very
5-tool
fast,
player.
not very good in the field. He is just a hitter.
Yeah, and
Probably
he's a
the best
machine.
hitter. I mean, you could say Judge. I think Judge is the best home run hitter.
Oh, sure.
Pure hitter, Soto.
Would you not say Acuna over Soto? I would probably say Soto over Acuna also.
I would say
but
Soto over Acuna just because
I think Acuna is probably a good second though.
I don't know Acuna's on base
I could
numbers,
check. They're pretty
but
filthy. He is.
but if you've never had a on base percentage below 400, like
Yeah.
I don't know how you could really compete with that.
No. That's the thing about Soto is he's so consistent.
Yeah,
And that is what we love as Yankee fans.
it is. It
Look,
really, really is. We need some
mhm,
consistency in our life.
mhm. So I'm looking at Ronald
Force
Acuna's stats right now, and yeah, his OBP has dipped below 400. He's only had a 400 plus OBP twice. The rest have been high 300. So I mean,
which is very good, but
he's filthy.
yeah, no knock towards Acuna, but if you're getting on base 40% of the time every single year,
Yeah.
insane. All right. So, we're not just an American League podcast. We're all
No,
the MLB.
we
Who's your
cover it
NL
all.
MVP?
NL MVP. Give me a repeat, Ronald Acuna Jr. He was so good last year. His
Yeah.
stats were literally unbelievable. He was putting up video game numbers. I'm looking at him right now. Look at this. He's got 41 home runs, over 70 steals. That's crazy. Over 80. He had 84. I'm sorry, that's his strikeouts. No, he had 73 stolen bases. That's what I thought. 73 stolen bases, 106 RBIs, 149 runs scored, 217 hits. What's the batting average?
Crazy.
Let's see. The I don't remember it off the top of my head, but he's so good.
He
That
is.
threat to be able to get on base and then steal bases, we have not seen a 70 steal season in so long. I mean, players don't do that anymore. It's awesome to watch
Oh, they
someone.
don't.
It's so awesome to watch someone as electric as Ronald Acuna Jr.
So my pick instead of Acuna,
Mm,
we talked about him earlier.
mm.
Fernando Tatis Jr. So
Tell me why.
the reason why. So he started a brand new position last year.
Mm-hmm.
He had 30 DRS. DRS
Mm-hmm.
level.
Yep.
He's gonna get the votes because of defensive war, and also he's kind of following the Acuna trajectory a little bit. You remember
Mm-hmm.
Acuna had the torn ACL, came back, and then really
Mm-hmm.
struggled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tatis did struggle a lot last year. Not to say he was bad. He still, I believe, let's check his OPS plus. He had a 113 OPS plus. Whoa.
So my rebuttal for that, Ronald Acuna Jr. had a 168 OPS plus, which led the league. I didn't do Ronald Acuna justice at all. Led the league in runs, hits, stolen bases, OBP, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases. His OPS was 1.012.
But you want to
Ronald
know
Acuna
Tatis
Jr. is disgusting. Yeah, tell me about Tatis.
Acuna's disgusting, but Tatis's lowest before that was 154. And you're also remembering this is a guy that changed positions. He was
That is
rusty.
true.
He had a couple minor league games, but they were like, "Oh, you're off your suspension, go." And he was also hurt. They say bounce back year for Fernando Tatis Jr. He's gonna get the MVP. This is a bold prediction.
It is. I
40
think
40 club Fernando Tatis
40,
Jr.
40.
Or
Do you think Ronald Acuna will also hit that 40-40 milestone? He says he could do 50-50. I don't think
he said he could do 50-50. I don't know. I don't think anybody
40-50, sure.
He already did that. He did 40-70.
40-70, which is just unbelievable.
But I do think Tatis being healthy is going to really be able to take advantage of those bigger bags. Stolen bases are becoming a lot more normal in the MLB again.
More normal.
I think he's got it.
Mm-hmm. So then I'm curious, if you're huge on the Padres, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Did you want to
go ahead?
Where do you think they'll fall in the playoff picture?
6th seed, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair guess.
I think they are better than the Giants. I know the Giants made a lot.
Just made so many moves.
They did. Jung-Hoo Lee, I think, is the X factor for that team, though, because
not Snell.
Snell is so weird.
Yeah,
so weird.
He's not going to repeat a Cy Young season, that's for sure.
Because he's 2-time Cy Young winner, but usually a 2-time Cy Young winner, people are like, "Oh, is he Hall of Fame bound?" I remember DeGrom had the back-to-back, and they're like, "DeGrom Hall of Fame if he continues this." No one's saying Blake Snell could potentially be in the Hall of Fame or Blake Snell is this generational pitcher.
No, he's very good.
He's very good, but he's just so
interesting. Yeah. He has control issues. I believe he led the league in walks last year, if I'm not mistaken. But I get he's kind of you know what he feels like. This is going to be a really abstract comparison, but he just kind of feels like using a laser pointer to play with a cat. He just controls everything. Like he'll walk out. He won't let you get on base. He won't let you get a hit. If he wants you on, he's always walking. You know what I mean? It's kind of I'm having a hard time wording it. It's a really abstract comparison to have in my head. But he's just like no fun. He just does everything himself. You're not going to get a hit off him because you're either not going to be able to because you're not going to get the chance because the pitches are so bad, or you're not going to get to hit because he's going to strike you out in 3 disgusting pitches. He just sucks to go against.
Yeah, he is. He is very confusing. Very confusing pitcher. The reason I don't like to talk about Blake Snell is because I don't know how to talk about him. I don't know what to say.
That's why I had to
He
use such an abstract analogy. I just don't know how to explain it, but he just feels like I don't know.
he's so weird. So weird. Can't really describe him. But
Back to the
since
Giants.
you just mentioned pitching, I believe we have the same NL Cy Young pick, Spencer Strider.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I think he
Spencer
could reach
Strider is
300
absolutely
strikeouts this
disgusting. Now, here's the thing. He picked up a curveball. Do you think he needs that curveball? Because he was one of the best
100%.
pitchers in baseball without it.
He
I
was
saw
a
a clip of that
fantastic pitcher.
curveball and it looked disgusting. But I have seen and heard some speculation that it's kind of flat the majority of the time. I don't think he needs it. It's cool, you know. He's picking up this new pitch, looks good. It's nice, but he was so good doing what he was doing. Does he need to overcomplicate it?
I think so because he was striking everybody out, but he was also getting hit. If the reason
Yeah,
he didn't win Cy Young is he had a 3.86 ERA.
right.
You
Which
know what I mean?
you
He's
know,
getting hit around, which that's just the type of pitcher he is. I don't think I could see. I don't know his numbers, but I
I'm
think
looking at
it's.
him right now. He
Can you look
had
up the
20 wins.
frequency
He
of
led the
how
league
often
in
he?
strikeouts, led the league in FIP.
Can you
So
can you look up the frequency of the fastball and slider?
yeah. Let me pull up. That's Baseball Savant, right?
I think so.
Yeah, let me see. So if you want to keep talking about him for a minute.
Just he all he does was throw fastball and sliders. Gene's gonna get us numbers in a
Mm-hmm,
minute,
mm-hmm.
but that's all he throws. I think the curveball, I could see
I'm
like
looking at it.
10 to 15% of the time he could throw that curveball, just a
Uh-huh.
surprise pitch. Do you have a
I do. He threw his four seamer 58.9% of the time. So we're going to say 60%. 60% of the time, you're getting a four seamer. His slider comes in at 33.8% of the time. We'll call it 35. So he's, and a changeup just
it's like
just
5?
over 7%. And he likes to throw it low in the bottom left quadrant of the strike zone. I'm looking at this. This is so interesting. He throws most of them there. He doesn't like the challenge on the other side with that changeup. But anyway, that's just an observation. Back to what's important. I don't know if he needs the curveball. His slider kind of does the job the curveball can do. And he's clearly very comfortable just throwing a slider and four seamer for a combined 90% of his pitches. I'd be curious
I
to see where the curveball falls on the usage chart.
I think that curveball, it's not going to be thrown a lot. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the fastball or the slider, but I
Mm-hmm.
could see that curveball getting to that 10% mark, that changeup maybe falling to
Mm-hmm.
that 5% mark,
That could happen.
just because I don't think, he needs more pitches. I'm actually looking at Baseball Savant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those those fastballs are crazy. They're all over the
Averaging
place.
97.2 miles per hour with a 28.2% whiff rate.
That
Pretty good.
changeup is wow. 225 changeups he threw,
Compared to his 1,826 four seamers.
and 1,000 sliders. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's wild. And he just had that changeup in 2022. 2021. Don't believe he wasn't in the majors, but
He's only been in the
78
majors for a short time.
78% fastball, 21% slider in 2021. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he needed another pitch, but again, just because he adds another pitch does not mean he's going to be throwing that pitch all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just like a surprise pitch, because fastball and sliders are great if you're a reliever.
Oh, you don't think a start? I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I'm saying
I think a
only fastball
starter.
slider,
Oh, I get what you're saying. With as a
just
two
having
pitch
those
mix
two.
exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm very excited for Spencer Strider, though. I think he is going to
He's
dominate the
so
league.
good. He's
He
so
is
good. He was in the top
unreal.
percentile of whiff percentage, strikeout percentage. He was in the top percentage of fastball velo. He is so good.
He's
Everything he does is
ridiculous.
excellent. And like we've said, he's only been in the league for a little bit. He's going to get better and better and better once he reaches the prime of his career. And there's a lot to look forward to if you're a Braves fan. That's for sure.
Those Braves are filthy. Sorry, Mets fans. We probably have a lot of those because New York area.
Yep.
It's the Braves' biggest opponent is the playoffs.
Yes. It is
Yeah,
so frustrating historically for the Braves when they've reached the playoffs. The entire 1990s, they were the team of the 90s, and they fell flat.
14 in a row, 14 playoff appearances in a row, and
Something
only
like
won
that.
one championship.
Yeah. I think something similar might be happening now with the playoffs and the Braves, and they might be starting up a new streak when they should be starting up a dynasty, because I personally think they should win the World Series this year over the Dodgers.
Really? You have the Braves winning
I've got the Braves winning the World Series this year.
I have an unconventional pick.
I know you do. I saw your pick earlier. Tell everyone what your pick is, because I think it was very interesting.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Tell me why. Why? Why are the Orioles going to win the World Series, Sam? Let me know. I do not agree.
The reason I picked the Orioles is because I cannot trust the Braves or the Dodgers to pick them.
I can't trust the Dodgers. That's why I'm going to pick them.
I can't trust either of those teams, but the Orioles.
So you chose the Orioles, the team that chose Ubaldo Jimenez over Zach Britton? Those Orioles?
Hey. Different manager, different time.
You're right. Different era. It's cherry picking.
That guy that was the manager is not even in the league anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I have the Orioles, they are such a young team. Young team. And they're only going to get better and better. And they just got their ace, Corbin Burns, who I think is going to be fantastic there. Corbin Burns is an awesome pitcher. They have the best catcher in the league. I know Will Smith. I know.
I would put Adley Rutschman over Will Smith also. He's disgusting. What about J.T. Realmuto? I'm still taking Adley.
I'm taking Adley all day. I mean, he's going to be the best catcher in the league for the next 10, 15 years. He is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Gunnar Henderson is a stud. Jackson Holliday, when he gets called up, scared for the rest of the league and the AL East.
Bullpen. Oh, my God. Felix Bautista.
He's out this year, unfortunately.
I know. But he's so good. I had to bring him up
Craig Kimbrell.
Mm-hmm. And Cano.
I know everybody hates Craig Kimbrell, but he's a dog. He's doing this for so long.
He's going to go down as one of the greatest closers of all time, whether people like it or not.
Easily. There's a reason he keeps getting signed for like at least $10 million a year.
Right. It's because he's excellent.
Closer. He's great. And I think they're going to make a lot of noise this season. I do think they will win the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, I think, again, I'm not going to put any money on this. I think they can win the World Series, especially if they make another move for a pitcher at the deadline, like a Shane Bieber, who I know hasn't been great, but to get another arm like that is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the Orioles hype train. I'm on the bandwagon. Go O's. I know you have the Braves. That's actually my World Series matchup is the Braves versus the Orioles.
I kind of am thinking Astros and Braves. I'm thinking again.
I just don't want to see it again.
I don't want to see it either. Look at the hat. You think I want to see that? No, but you got to understand they have Yordan Alvarez. They have an excellent starting rotation. They're just locked down every year. We're in the middle of an Astros dynasty, whether you like it or not. I hate it. It's horrible, but it's the truth. And they're complete every single year. They have what it takes to go all the way. They have experience. They have young talent.
Except starting pitching right now.
Except starting pitching. But their hitting is so good. You can argue that it makes up for it. Every time there's a hole in the Astros, it gets fixed with some random call-up that comes in and turns into Jordan Alvarez.
They're a lot like the Dodgers in that regard. And the Rays and the Braves.
The only difference is the Astros show up in the prime time, unlike the Braves and the Dodgers.
Why can't Brian Cashman do this? But anyways.
Don't even get me started on the Yankees in the playoffs. But I could see the Braves edging out the Astros in the 2024 World Series.
I like that prediction. I like it. It'll be very interesting to see
But
what
I would love
happens.
for the Orioles. I want to see the Orioles.
Yeah,
I want to
I
see the
mean,
Yankees, but I want to see the Orioles. Let me
I,
see Adley hit a walk-off slam in Game 4. I'd
I
love
want
to
to
see it.
see those young studs go out there and
I want
just
to see Corbin Burns
ball
throw
out.
8 scoreless in Game 1.
Yanir Cano,
He's so good.
dog. I love me some Ryan Mountcastle.
Cedric Mullins.
Cedric Mullins is awesome. The Orioles, they're if nothing else, the Orioles are going to be so much fun to watch this year.
Oh, yeah.
So
They'll
much
be
fun to
fun to watch.
watch. And
They'll
then
be
when
fun to
Jackson
watch.
Holiday inevitably gets called up,
They have like
so
3
good.
or 4 people on like the top 50 prospects list. They have so
And it's
many.
and they just won 101 games.
Mhm.
That's the
Where do you
scary part is that they're
where do you
not going to stop.
I'm interested now. Let's talk about the AL East a little bit. Where do you think how do you think the AL East shapes up by the end of it?
I think Red Sox 5,
Uh-huh.
Rays 4.
Mhm.
Actually, no. Blue Jays 4, Rays 3, Yankees
Mhm.
2, Orioles 1. The reason I have Blue Jays 4, they had 4 pitchers throw, I think, at least 150 to 160 innings last year.
Mhm.
That is not repeatable. Actually, no, not 4 pitchers. I think might have been it's either 4 or 5. That is
Okay.
not a repeatable stat.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I didn't know that stat. But
Yeah, I love
the
Chris
Blue
Bass.
Jays, man, uh, they just keep underperforming. They're better than that, and they just keep. I've got them at 4 too. Yeah, I could see them go into 3.
I can too, but
Because the Rays are the Rays. They do their thing.
yeah, that's a team I'm just not gonna touch. A lot like Blake Snell, I'm not gonna touch because I don't want to be the guy that said the Rays are gonna be dog shit and then they
They
you
never
know
are.
end
They're
up
so
winning
good.
every single game.
They're just. I don't even know how they do it. They just call up these nobodies and turn them into like stars every single time.
As much as I love Aaron Boone, Kevin Cash was a
Kevin Cash,
Yankee catcher.
yes, he was. Yep.
Missed the opportunity, but whatever.
But then
I'm
again,
riding with Boone.
Aaron Boone had some more important moments than Kevin Cash. So,
Yeah, I love Aaron Boone. I think he's a great personality.
mhm.
Gene, I want to end this with a little over under. I think it's 93.5 wins for the New York Yankees. Over under.
I'm crushing that over because we're gonna get
Oh,
94
wow.
wins. 94 wins. You heard it here from a delusional Yankee fan. We're getting 94 wins, good for second place in the AL East. What do you think? Hit me with that over under.
95 wins. Over.
95 wins.
That is wishful thinking. Well, thank
I
God
love
I'm
it.
not
I
betting any
love it.
real money on it.
We
Gene,
would be broke.
I would be. Gene, I really want to say thank you for coming on. A little bit of short notice, but you killed
Mm.
it today. Hope to have you on soon again.
Thank you so much, Sam. I am looking forward to coming back on this show. I had a great time.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, everybody.